Hi guys, it's day 22 and I'm sitting at my computer. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking to you about my strengths and weaknesses in writing. This video was definitely inspired by Caitlin's version of the same topic, so let's get straight to it. Now, when it comes to writing, I do have a lot of strengths and weaknesses. I like to think that my strengths outweigh my weaknesses, but I think weaknesses are there so that you can, like anything in life, so that you can get better at your chosen activity. Okay, so basically I find that there are some prominent things in my writing that I've experienced, and I was going to share a couple of those with you. They're not exactly going to be like, I'm just going to share whatever I feel like. Okay, so one of my weaknesses is that I definitely struggle with middles. I have a lot of novels that I have started that are pretty much in the middle, and then I get to the middle part and it's like 400 pages or something like that, and okay, not that much, but well, actually yes, the first novel, which I call my baby, is about 400 pages, and we're really barely touching the surface of the story. It's kind of in parts, but one of my goals last year with Nano was to get past the middle point in the story and get to a climax. So usually with Nano I do a novel size book, like 70k, I get to 70k, but usually 70k is about the midpoint going towards the ending, so I don't usually finish that final crunch, but last year I did, and I was so proud of myself. I did 70k I believe, and I challenged myself to do that, so therefore that is becoming one of my strengths. I'm able to move forward. But that is definitely one of my weaknesses in writing. I just suck at middles. I get to a point where the action really peaks and something has to happen to kind of push me towards the ending, and I really think that weakness comes from not wanting to, like, I don't want to stop writing the story, so I kind of get stuck and I'm like, yay, I can be blissfully stuck in the middle of the story and I don't have to end it. Nothing bad has to happen. I don't have to do anything with it. And yeah, so yeah, middles are definitely my weakness, but I'm getting better at it, and writing every day gets better and better as well. So another one of my weaknesses is that I tend to burn myself out very fast when I write. This is also comes under one of my strengths as well. One of my strengths is that I'm a very prolific writer. I write a lot. Back in the day when I was by myself, single, you could probably be gauging at about 10k a day on various projects, and I was just non-stop writing. I'd have about 4 hours sleep and I'd write again, and in notebooks, anything. My whole life was writing, and this is what early adulthood as well. Now it is prolific, but I am learning to not burn myself out, because I got to the stage where I kind of just gave up on eating and drinking, and I just wrote. So that is definitely one of my weaknesses. I'm a highly passionate person when it comes to writing, so that is my strength, but my weakness is that I burn out very fast. So you can kind of see where the sort of I need a balance in these sort of things. So I believe one of my biggest strengths is empathy and compassion, and I really think that I have a knack for the human soul and just experiences and things like that. For me, that is definitely one of my biggest strengths, and I utilize that during my writing sessions as well. Knowing that I've been through shit and that I can feel people and understand people, and it also comes under my abilities to communicate with other sort of beings and stuff like that too. So I have this sort of overall sense of compassion for characters, so I can put them through shit, but at the same time feel for them. It's why I also, when I'm writing and when I'm reading, I can feel for the bad guys as well, because I do know that there's two sides to every story, and there's two kind of battling egos for everybody, I think. So that is definitely one of my strengths, and I'm able to explore the darker side of people as well, which makes writing a lot more enjoyable and intense for me. I like that intensity, so it definitely brings forward that strength, so I'm able to portray that. I'm able to like have people resonate with me, not just like happy-go-lucky people, but people who have been through shit. So I feel like when I write, people are going to be able to say, yes, I have been through that, I have been through that struggle, you can understand what I'm feeling. So therefore, that makes the characters much more believable, and that for me is definitely a strength. Very honest too. So I like my characters to be honest, and I hope that's a strength as well, because you can't always be honest as a character, but I like my characters to be true to themselves, and I think that's definitely a strength for my writing. I always ensure that no matter what kind of person that they are going to, sorry, my computer went, that they're going to be themselves, whether that is a murderer, serial killer, you know, happy-go-lucky guy, happy-go-lucky girl, no matter who they are, they need to be true to themselves. So that is definitely a strength for me, to be able to actually write their story. I find it becomes a weakness when I try and impose certain qualities onto these characters, and that's when a lot of other weaknesses come in, like writer's block. Of course, we all have it at some stage. Writer's block for me can be very severe, or it has been in the past. But again, it's another one of my strengths. I have utilized my skills and my creative abilities to be able to work around those kind of roadblocks when it comes to writing. It doesn't always happen. Sometimes, again, when I'm writing too much, that can be a weakness as well. But usually, my writing is pretty good. Yeah. I don't know what I'm saying, but that's okay. I think also as a weakness too, my intensity can become depressing. So sometimes when I'm writing really depressing scenes, I tend to get into a little bit of a pickle where I just want to research depressing things. A lot of the time when I was writing as a young woman, I still am a young woman, but I tended to want to explore very dark topics and very dark career opportunities as well. So that can be a downfall because it's a deterrent from writing as well. You get lost in those emotions, and I think if you don't use those emotions in your writing, then it becomes a weakness, because you're not going to be able to see your characters clearly if your brain is fogged by all this shit. So yeah, I think I'm also a very enlightened person. So my characters generally tend to have some sort of spiritual path as well, and I think, like, I like to drop some, not religious crap into my stories, but I think one of my strengths is being able to also give characters the chance to explore themselves as well spiritually. I think it's really important, whether it might be God or religion, or it might be something like sexual identity or something like that. I always give my characters something to explore, and that for me is a really big strength, because 1, it helps me vent, 2, it helps people resonate with my characters, 3, it's giving them something that's going to progress themselves and help them progress in a spiritual evolution sense as well, which is really important to me, because that's what my characters are all about. Even the evil ones. So yeah, I'm really bouncy today, I'm sorry guys, just got home. So also, one of my strengths, I'm not judgmental. Okay guys, I do not judge my characters. I don't generally tend to ask, what the fuck are you doing? I just believe in them, I guess. I believe in my characters, and I believe what they're trying to tell me. I'm one of those people whose biggest strengths is that I love to listen. So for my characters in my writing, I think it's a really good strength, because I'm able to listen to what they're telling me. I'm able to just tell the story. I feel like these stories that I have in my head aren't necessarily my stories. I'm given these kind of like, you know, the muse gives you inspiration. I believe that these are real people out there, in alternative universes and pocket universes or whatever, Doctor Who reference. And I believe that these stories are being shown through my brain, so it's very important for me to be able to listen to what they're saying and not judge that. And I think when you judge something, or when you're judging your characters, it's going to make it a whole lot harder to write about them, because you're just doing what everyone else does in society. So that makes sense. Does it not make sense? However, you can have other characters judge other characters, but I think as a writer, you can question your characters, but don't judge them, because it just becomes so much harder, if that makes sense. So, I think that's it. Oh, I'm very vivid. I'm a very vivid writer, which is my strength as well. I'm very vivid, have vivid imagination, and a very creative imagination too. I put some characters, not necessarily in my novels, but in my short stories, through some painful fucking shit, and I can stomach it. So yeah. Yeah. So I hope that was a insightful video. Sorry I talk really fast. I'm just today. Also, I finished editing scene 6 in my other novel, so I'm really excited about that. It's going to take me a while. I'm thinking, like, I wanted to do this whole thing where I did all of them one day. I sat down for half an hour. It took me like an hour to do it, and I was like, this is not going to happen. I'm going to have to break it down and not burn out. So, hint, tomorrow I'm going to be editing, showing you like a very first step of how I edit. So this is just an example of what you're going to see tomorrow. This is scene 6, and all my lovely scenes in highlighters and colours. Whoops. Gotta love my Banda girlfriend or boyfriend. And then this is my scene 7, all ready to go with the little index cards and scene. So looking forward to doing that tomorrow. Not really, but we'll get there. And eventually, in maybe a month's time, I will have the first step of my editing process done. Therefore, I will have made it a little bit more presentable, and I've taken the first steps in rewriting my story. So guys, that's just me being spastic, and I hope you enjoyed that video. It was a hodgepodge of weaknesses and strengths that probably just mishmashed together, and what's the word? I can't think of the word. Jesus Christ, Blair. Okay, I'm gonna go to sleep now. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Oh, wait, count below when I post this video.